What's up, you guys? We're out here at the Infinity Shop. I'm here with Insta-Twan, Anthony Maltese, my boy. As you know, he's one of our favorite sub-vloggers. He has been vlogging as of late, but
get it back. Everyone's always asking.
Yeah, so you know Insta-Twan from YouTube. We're just here. He's in town right now, so I thought it would be cool to just catch up with Anthony. Some of you may or may have not known that he won the pipeline event in the Hui Backdoor Shootout, which is pretty rad. This is the board he used. We'll get a little bit into that. But yeah, it's kind of an underground event, locals only event. So even to get invited to surf in that event is a huge achievement. And Anthony happened to make his way out there and freaking win the thing. So I thought, man, I gotta find more about the whole journey and the experience and all that stuff.
Thanks for thinking about me.
Yeah, dude, no, for sure. So like, I remember you called me and you're like, dude, I just got the invite to the Backdoor Shootout. And as a stand-up paddler myself, you know, we know how prestigious that is because there's not that many slots available for one. And I mean, the guys who've been invited to those, I mean, is like Kai Lenny, you know, Zane Schweitzer, Mo Freitas,
For sure.
you know, all the top dogs, and it's usually just Hawaiians.
And then all the underground Hawaiians. It's
Yeah.
like a dozen of them too.
Exactly. So like for Twan to get the invite is huge. So like, what was that like? You like simply getting the invite?
Getting the invite was pretty overwhelming. You know, just Zane's like, "You gonna say yes, man?" I'm like all right, I'm gonna say yes. So it was cool. Kavika Stan called me a few days later and said, "Hey, you're gonna be in the contest. You're gonna show up. We'll call you before it runs." I said yes, like the honor to have the call. I was so happy to do it.
Dude. And when you called me too, you're like, I think I need a board. And well, I'm like, when's the event? He's like, I leave in a couple days. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, we're not changing boards.
Yeah. So you guys probably seen if you follow Anthony, and this board's one of his favorite boards. He actually did a rad vlog when he first got it. Big old air, you know, thumbnail. So if you haven't seen that, go back.
That was a big claim video. I did claim this board was the best sub surfboard on earth. I still, to this day, it is the best board I've ever had. It is amazing. It is really truly like a big short board, but also surfs like a paddleboard. It's not bare minimum. It's still thick and floats for the most part.
Yeah, so go check out the Twanicles and get his review on this board. But tell us a little bit about this board just from your perspective. And obviously you wrote it kind of by default because you didn't have anything else really to ride. But I was stoked because I know, you know, you and I built this board and designed it for your everyday kind of competition performance board. So for me, like being a shape or whatever, to see you go riding this at Cotton's and then go win the Backdoor Shootout and get tubed is, I mean, that's pretty rad stuff to me.
Appreciate it. You're always looking out for me. Yeah, this board, kind of a culmination of all the years of boards that we were doing, and we had that super swallowtail we liked for a bit. We went into a diamond tail, and then it felt like, hey, we're surfing pretty big waves. We need a board that rolls over. It doesn't just slide out like we're surfing 2-footers. So, hey, let's make a shortboard, a sub shortboard for good waves. And I feel like we really, you know, hit the nail on the head with this one. Dave did such a good job. I think for me, coming back to the pinched rails of a step deck was a big improvement. I was pretty sold on having a full rail for a while, but really the boards are so big, you need a pinched rail to fit in the pocket of a good barrel. To really sit in the barrel on a sup, you have to have that pinched down rail to get the board in there. And this one's great. And the round tail on this was a big change for me too. We were only doing the swallows and a diamond or whatever. So to commit to a round tail on such a small board, it really, the board, you know, rolls over right, it rolls over left. It's so much more fluid than before rather than choppy. You know, we have such a small tail block too. It allows us to have such a small tail.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the round tail is a big improvement. And I think for all my subs going forward, I really like the round tail and how it feels. It just feels so smooth.
Yeah, totally. And just for reference, this board is 7'4", 24, and 75 liters. And just for fun, how much do you weigh?
I weigh about 172. At the time we designed this board, I was probably like 165, 167. So I've put on a few pounds of muscle, though. I've been training. It's not flab. But I've noticed the difference. Like, I've been stronger. I can sink this board more and recover from more sinking because I've been training. But at the same time, it's a few years old, so it doesn't have that freshness that a new board comes. So, for everyone watching, if like you got an Old Faithful board, I know it's Old Faithful and I know it works, but they do get old. And, a new board, that spring and freshness really makes a huge difference. And for me, coming back to the pipeline event, had I had a fresher board or had prepared mentally or been more on top of my game, I would have got a wave in the final that I missed and comboed everyone even more. But, it's just perfect 2020 hindsight there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And Tuan does kind of sink down to his waist if he's just standing there and sitting there. So really impressive stuff. But let's get back to the event itself. So you get there, they make the call, and obviously the contest, you're the stand-up paddlers, so they put you, on the off times. So it's not perfect conditions and not peak conditions. They try to fill you in. And a lot of times it's more dangerous, right? More sketchy and not as many tubes. So, but you guys are just taking what you can.
Yeah.
So they make the call, you're going, you see your heat. What's going through your mind on that first morning?
Yeah, we kind of, like I said, the Uncle Kavika Stant, he says, hey, we're going to call you a couple days before the event, give you a heads up. And kind of as it got closer, I was seeing how that might not going to happen. And Max Torres calls me. He's like, dude, you got to be here. They're running the event. Like the first day. So hopped on a plane, got right over there, had a warm up the evening before, which was I had a great little warm up. It was just a little overhead and nice peaks. Knew Tehotu was out with his wife, and they were like, hey, catch whatever, find some waves.
That's cool.
So I kind of had a good little red carpet first session on this board too, wore my helmet. I was like, all right, I'm ready for tomorrow. And we got to the morning, and the morning was actually almost flat. I mean, I had never seen Hawaii so calm. But at the same time, the wind was calm. There was no wind. It looked like a day at home, just sheet glassy as far as you could see. But on the buoys and everything, the swell was really big on paper. And we were waiting there 10 minutes, and all of a sudden there's a giant set. And you wait another 10 minutes, and there's a bigger set. Yeah. So they're like, all right, sup's on. You guys are on it. You guys are the first ones to go. But then they kind of went back and forth, and they ended up flipping a coin with the longboarders on who would go first.
Okay.
I don't remember who got to flip or call it, but the longboarders opted to go second. They wanted the swell to build a little more, so they put subs first, and then they had us volunteer on who wanted to go in the first heat. And I was just raised my hand. I was ready to go and excited. So I was like, I'm going first. I want control of this. And I went out, and we had a great first heat. It was super fun.
Yeah, and it was funny because I think I just happened to go on YouTube and I saw the live thing. I was like, oh crap, it's starting. And I turn it on and I see you guys getting ready. So I had no idea. I was like, oh shoot.
Everything happened so quick.
But then I look at it and I'm like, who's in this first heat? And then I see Tuan. Then I see Sebastian. Then I see his dad. And then I'm like, what?
Ban too.
Yeah, and Ban. I'm like, all my guys are in the same first heat. What is the deal? So I started taking screen grabs of you guys all in the lineup.
Yeah, the first heat was they like pretty much drew numbers on who was going to be in the first heat after we volunteered. They ended up sorting it because everyone kind of wanted to wait for more swell. But I'm like, well, I wanted to get it on with, and it seemed like they were going to run shortboard later, so they were really squeezing us to that morning time. Gotcha. But yeah, I've maybe ever surfed against Band and beat him maybe once. He's probably beat me 5+ times. He's just so creative when he can switch stance, and he's a trickster, And I can't remember if I surfed against Sebastian before, but I was honored to be surfing with him in the heat. Like first time, he's like the barrel guy. He's really the internet barrel stuff king.
Sure. Yeah.
So was really cool to be with the heat, and I've surfed with his dad multiple times.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Jose's a legend. So
it was cool for me to just sit back and go, cool, every board in the water at Pipeline is an Infinity.
We all have the Infinities, which was really cool. We got a picture together at the end that we'll put in the clips. So I almost had an hour at Pipe alone just in that heat, which was incredible. I knew where the boil was from the night before. I saw the big ones coming in. And more or less, we were both nervous. We all were kind of nervous. That Band kind of confided in me later. He was pretty nervous too. And, Yeah, we all got some good waves in that heat. We all rode some good waves. Sebastian kind of looking for a right, and like supping such a favors your front side. Really, it's so difficult to really butt slide down a wave backside. It's
100%.
It's Kai can do it.
Yeah.
There may be not many other people. Zane can do it pretty well, right?
Yeah, totally.
But it's a challenging thing to do backside. So we're all really looking for our frontside edge. Band surf switch, which is so commendable. I mean, the guy rode every wave of pipe switch, which is so gnarly.
Yeah.
And I really thought Band had won the heat because you can't see anything from everyone takes off on a wave, and it was so long period between each wave, and it was surging so much water off the reef that every wave was backless. And every time you dropped in on someone, they dropped in, you're like, that guy either got the best wave when it spit out, or they died.
Yeah.
No,
it looked gnarly. It didn't look fun, really.
Yeah, it was it was as supping chopu as I could imagine it was. The waves were backless, the water was surging up every wave. You really kind of had to paddle almost like upriver into the wave as the water was coming up it, which was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it definitely looked difficult and looked like you definitely had to pick and choose the right way because they had that crazy backwash. I mean, dude, there's some crazy wipeouts in that, and you can see the replay on YouTube.
For sure.
Hui Backdoor
Shootout. Jose jumped on one.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
That was a wild one.
Yeah, Sebastian got kind of clipped on one.
I think all you guys eventually took some donuts, but to be out there on your sup, I've surfed pipeline a handful of times. It's I haven't really, even being out there a handful of times, I've only caught one or two waves ever at pipeline, and I can honestly say I've only got one real tube out there after the hours I spent out there.
I spent hours on a shortboard this trip to get meager things.
So that was my question was, before your heat, how much time have you actually spent out at pipeline? And then finally you get to surf it and it has to be on your sup, you know what I mean? So how much time have you actually spent out there?
Very little time. And every time I've been to Hawaii, it'd been full sandbar and north and giant backdoor and something I was just never really comfortable with, and not with the crowd on top of that too. So
for sure.
I felt like I did get lucky this event with so much swell at home before, and I really got to train, and I sub-surfed giant blacks. And really my thought process there was wow, if I can do this in blacks with these giant rip currents and battling a crowd and getting the shifting peak, I'm going to do pretty good at pipe. It's going to be boils. It's going to be calm current for the most part. So I mentally, I was I put the training in. Let's just get to the reef and see how it goes,
Totally.
So yeah, really stand up. I feel when you're surfing stand up, if you do have such an advantage on everyone, you're up above, you can get the little bird's eye view going. And I feel with all my wave knowledge, when I was out of pipe and the set started coming in that day, I'm I know what these waves are going to do.
Yeah.
And I just felt when I was in the water, I felt so confident in what I was choosing.
Yeah. No, it definitely looked like you were choosing, out of everybody, you were choosing the best waves. Is what I saw.
And that was kind of my mindset too was, hey, get the good one, don't ride a bad one. Just only ride a good one. The good ones are good. Get a good one.
Yeah, totally. So then, how many rounds was it to the final?
Just the two, just the one.
Semi.
Just the semi and the final. They had a big list of dudes.
Yeah.
They're probably, to me, it looked like there were 12 to 16 guys on the original draw, Kaika Kalama, all kinds of Hawaiians.
I think the hard part, you don't know exactly when it's coming, so people don't make it.
Everyone was a little unsure. It seemed like they were trying to call people to show up. It was just a little because it was a great day to run it.
Yeah,
and in hindsight, there really wasn't much window left in the period that would have even squeezed us in. So it worked out perfect for me, really.
Totally.
The waves, I picked the good little ones. I got 2 4s in the first heat.
Yeah.
I think I actually tied with Ban, but I had a better count back.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So it was me and Ban. We went to the final. Sebastian and his dad unfortunately didn't make it. And then came from the other final was Tehotu and Max Torres.
Yeah.
It was just funny. Our heat was, head high to overhead and just perfect little peaks. And their heat was 4 gigantic sets.
Yeah.
They were insane. And none of them were really in the spot for the
Max
waves.
just charged.
Max charged. Trevor fell out of the sky. Tehotu buckled his board. That heat was carnage.
Yeah.
And then the 2 longboard heats leading up to the final were incredible as well. So we're like, oh, the final's going to be insane.
Yeah.
And it kind of was a little slow.
Yeah. So like with the schedule and everything, like I had no idea when the final was going to be or even that day. So I missed the final.
Yeah.
And I actually, it was hard to find it and all that stuff.
It was.
I started getting texts like, "Oh, hey, did Juan just win the pipeline?" I'm all. I don't think so. Like he, they had their first heat, whatever. Though he just got a sick barrel, or how's that barrel he got? I'm all. I saw everybody get a couple good ones. Not one stood out in the first heat, right?
For sure. Yeah,
like,
they're all equal.
Like your final one. So I was like, what's everyone talking about?
Yeah.
And eventually I got to see it, and let's talk about the final because. Not many waves were ridden in the final overall because it was probably
for sure,
and
it was difficult, and the opportunities were kind of mistimed in a way by all of us.
Yeah,
kind of really. Yeah, for me though, like, dude, when I made that event and I was in that first heat and I got a jet ski ride out in the first round, I'm like, this is it. Like, I did everything I've ever wanted to in something. Like, I'm out at pipe, I'm in the heat, I got a jet ski ride.
Right.
I had already, I won so much in my head. I didn't win the event yet, but I was in such a good headspace. I'm like, oh, I won this thing.
Yeah.
So to make the final, like, it was so surreal.
Totally.
Just getting props from dudes on the beach, and they're like telling me what to do in the heat or look for this one or whatever. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, but same thing. I was like, hey, pick a good one. I'm gonna get a good one. Just look for a good one. So the heat was kind of unfolded pretty quick, right? Tehotu's board was buckled, and like I almost wanted to lend him my backup, but I was like, what if he snaps my backup? I was like, guy's on his own, dude. And Max was excited. Max just wanted it to be so much bigger. He's like, it's gotta be bigger, and like.
Probably because he wanted the rights.
He wanted the rights, and Boehne kind of was in my boat where we were both like so happy to kind of be, not that they weren't, but like we were so happy with the moment and being there that we're like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, that's typical Boehne.
Yeah. So, in hindsight, just to come all the way to the end, I actually thought Boehne won in the heat just because he had so many waves.
You're talking about the final?
Yeah, in the final. I personally thought he won just from the water angle. Just because he had all these spinning crazy waves, and you can't see it from behind, but he never really was in the tube.
Yeah.
But I personally, when I got to the beach, I was like, oh, Boehne won. Like, smoked me. He got like 3 good ones. Everyone went 1, 2, and 3 on like kind of mediocre ones, and I'm like, dude, like I'm out the back already. Like, this is it. Set came in, and I was like, oh, there's the second one. It looks like the one. Paddled over, it came right to me. And I was like, all right, this is it. And I remember pulling in on that one, and the wall was so vertical when I like knifed my line up. I'm like, wow, like this is it. I'm gonna get blown out. It vacuumed.
Did it look like it was gonna close out in a way?
No, I felt like it was just just absolutely perfect. And when I was in it, I was like, wow, I'm really barreled. And I felt it kind of vacuum me back. And you'll see like my paddle kind of got clipped as I was coming back because I felt the air like suck me in, and then it spit out. And I kind of came out almost after the spit in a way. I was like right with it at the end, and I was like, oh, like shocked. I couldn't believe I made it. And then I looked up, and the thing was just coming down right on me. And, luckily, it was enough to have a make and then jump off, but like pinned to the bottom instantly. I'm like, wow, you go like pipeline's such the ultimate wave. It's the most perfect, beautiful wave, but it's literally the beast.
Yeah, it's scary. I've been caught. The sets and the balls come, and you get caught there, and it's just like the worst feeling.
And nowhere really has that speed and intensity of a wave. The wave is coming so fast at the reef, and it hits so hard. I've never seen anywhere really hit that hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. So the final, when did you get that? Wait, was it kind of early?
That was early in the final, and maybe it'd been 6-7 minutes tops. We had the 30-minute final to maybe 25 minutes. But yeah, it was early on in the final, and I kind of watched everyone know that I got a good one.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of like went from being battly to battly and stressing, and I could kind of like feel the vibe on what everyone was thinking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I kind of got this on lock. Just wait and get another good one.
Right.
And everyone again went on waves. Tehotu and Max had a little interference.
Did they actually get an official interference?
I don't think so. Because really Max was so aimed right.
Yeah.
And he is so much deeper than Tehotu. And he faked out left last second, and it is what it is. But yeah, I was out the back again. Another set came, and I was on the boil, and I full went through the narrative in my head, like on the boil at pipe, and all alone, like I'm gonna do it again. And I fully missed such a good one.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like my board sunk because it's just like a little bit old, and I couldn't really recover from it. And the boil kind of pushed me aside. But in this guy Kavika's clip, I totally could have went.
Yeah.
And Boehne ended up getting the shoulder of it more and just barfed. The wave just puked all over it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it was like such the one.
He wasn't really all that.
He wasn't deep. He's two on the shoulder, but I fully could have shot the thing.
Yeah.
You know, it was weird because like after the event, like even though, you know, when I got to the beach, everyone's like, dude, you did it. Like you got the one. No one else got barreled. Still unknown, kind of, but to me, I was like, I missed the one. I missed it. It's so weird as like I'm such a diehard surfer and wave hunter. Like, missing a wave means so much to me. Like, I thought about that thing for like 2 days.
In hindsight, like if we had time, what board would you have rode instead? Obviously, this is.
Well, this board is so good.
I really think it was too small. Like,
no, I don't think it was too small. I think it just was not. It could have been fresher. Have that little extra buoyancy.
You don't think you needed more volume, like paddle power?
I do.
Like,
especially that afternoon, how the day progressed and every heat just got so big. Like when we finished our heat, I caught one to go in on and got so exploded trying to catch a wave in.
Yeah.
And lost my paddle, was kind of scrambling for it. And the kid in the longboard, he got like a 9-9, just blow out right in front of me. And it was an incredible wave. I'm like, wow, like, too bad that didn't come in our heat, but at the same time, everything happens for a reason, and it worked out so in my favor. Why can I like think about something else? But by the end of that day, the waves were, I don't know, California-wise, the faces were 25, 30 foot and barreling, you know, versus like 8 to 10. So it was, it's a big difference in morning to evening that day.
No, that's how it could happen in Hawaii. It's just so fast. But so anyway, I mean, this is the inaugural trophy you got.
Yeah,
so it's pretty. Hui Backdoor Shootout, SUP first place 2025. How cool is it to have that thing?
Pretty insane handmade trophy. It's made by Laleo Kinimaka, and Royal Hawaiian Woodworking is his company. And I don't know, you have a bunch of trophies over the years, but you know, one that's like extra handmade, it's such a large trophy too. It means so much to me. It means such a like I don't know. Such a like a wall. It's a wall hanger. I have it as a wall hanger. The guy made me a mount, stick it right on the wall. I look at it every day, and I'm like, oh gosh, like it gives me so much more confidence in what I do. Just really, I hate to sound corny, but I look at it every day, and I'm like, I can do this. Anything that comes my way in life, I like got this. You know, and it's just about like having the mental fortitude to keep pressing on.
Well, and I mean, you've come back from like a gnarly injury and all that stuff. I mean, you haven't really been subsurfing all that much. I mean, recently you have, but like
for sure.
So that's pretty rad to freaking not be able to walk and snap. Would you snap?
Walking is a blessing. Walking and being alive is a blessing after all that. So I know many of you are like, oh, where's the videos? Where's the videos? I broke my femur about 3 years ago, and it really took the wind out of my sails, lack of better terms. And, I love shortboarding so much. It's like, oh, what do I love more? Why do I do this? And I love something. And really every time I go stand up and the waves are good, it's my thing. It's not like, I feel like shortboarding is so many people's things. And like shortboarding is like, I mean, something's like my thing. You know, I'm so isolated doing it at trestles. I'm like the only guy out when it's big. Like, you know, it's a special thing to me, and it's changed my life. I mean, I surfed the pipeline contest. It's done so much for me mentally. I love stand-up paddling. Yeah, it's a big deal.
So okay, so you win the event and they're announcing the thing. Did they kind of make it a big deal, or is it kind of more low key?
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the funniest part about it is like, I just, you know, Max called me last minute, so I'm like, all right, Reese, like, you gotta take care of Ryan, like, strike mission in this contest. I'm gonna go. It's a one-day thing. I'll be back. Well, awards wasn't until the end of the whole shootout.
So like a couple days later?
No, it was 12 days.
Are you serious?
So I had a lucky Hawaiian vacation. Again, thank you, Reese, for, you know, watching over the kids. It's just like, I was gone a while, and I did luckily have a great surf trip. You know, it was awesome. It was a good lucky thing. Everywhere I went on the island, people like, you're that guy. I'm like, oh, I'm that guy.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So it's cool, like, to soak up a one-time thing in my life, be there everywhere I go. People see the west side, east side. different spots on North Shore, which
Yeah.
was cool. I see the judges out. The judges are like, bro, great barrel. And the judging panel was insane.
Yeah.
Like, to get props from those guys
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. But yeah, the awards thing was cool. It was like, I'm with the Florence brothers and, I mean, not John, but like Ivan, Nate, Koa, Jamie.
Yeah.
I'm up there getting awards with all these insane, the highest level of it gets. And I'm up there, Anthony the Supper from San Clemente, like,
Yeah,
it's so sick. Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty damn cool, and they gave me a great introduction when they gave me the award, and like,
Oh, yeah.
shaking hands with Uncle Eddie Rothman, and they're like, oh, we can't wait to see you next year. And I'm like, it's the greatest thing I've ever heard. So,
Yeah, dude. Well, that's freaking cool, man. I've always wanted to do that event. I'd probably be too scared these days, but
the helmet helped.
Yeah.
The helmet helped my confidence.
But think about that, man. Like forever, you're on that trophy, and that's like a big dream of every kid surfer, whether it's SUP or not. I mean, it's like Kai Lenny's won that event, Zane, like you're top names.
Kai, Zane, Mo, like on repeat almost.
You're freaking
right?
on that thing. So I'm proud of you, bro. That was sick, and that's stoked.
It's a big deal. I love it.
Rep the Infinity board there, and
Infinity for life.
I'm glad we got to chat about it because I haven't seen you in a little while. So it's good to see you, man. We had a fun time in Santa Cruz too. We got a little edit coming up after this one in the coming weeks. And
Congrats to Sebastian.
yeah,
Well earned win.
yeah, Tuan made the final there too. So we had a great weekend. And yeah, man, that's it. Thanks for sitting with us, talk story with Tuan, and we'll check you back in the next one.
Thank you.